One of the big questions I get asked about remote investing is how do you find builders? And to be fair, the same methods of finding builders remotely is going to be exactly the same methods you want to use doing it locally to streamline what you're doing. You can use all these methods locally as well as you could use them remotely. So even if you aren't own town, these work really well. But before we get into that, if you're new to this channel, make sure you stroke that like and subscribe button. Really helps out the algorithms, and you'll get notified with more content like this and other videos all around property investing mindset. And property as a business is all about streamlining in today's world. So you've really got to think about streamlining your business. So builders in general is a challenging part of property investing. Managing refurbs, finding builders is a really challenging part of this. But finding a network in any industry, in anything you do. So your network is your net worth. I'm not a fan of that quote, but I can't think of a better way to explain it, and it's just so true. But the thing is, building a network is not just as easy as just like turning up, going into the yellow pages once and going, okay, found a builder, he's going to be a builder for life, he's going to be priced right, he's going to be reliable, and I'm going to get along with him, and job done. And it's the same with anybody in all your networks, like whether that's your solicitor, whether that's a lawyer, whether that's estate agents. Building out your networks takes consistent time and effort of trial and error, finding the right people, trying them out, seeing if they're the right fit with you, seeing if they grow with you, because also what you've got to pay in mind is that sometimes somebody's good today don't always mean they're good tomorrow. Builders a lot of the time have got a shelf life as well, that they tend to be good for the first 3, 4, 5 jobs, and then two things happen. Their prices usually go that way and their reliability goes that way, and it spreads in the wrong direction. So the shelf life for them really starts sort of coming in place after. I usually find it's about 3 to 5 jobs, and yeah, they get a bit comfortable with you. Or another thing, a common thing I've had with builders, especially the style builders that I want to do. So we've done a live room, and there's a part 2 to this live room on Clubhouse next Friday with Paul Tinker. He's a construction expert, and he's done over 3,000 refurbs in his construction company, and he's also an investor. I'm actually going on his training to get even more detailed around managing refurbs. And we were talking about this on this Clubhouse last Friday, and basically it depends on what you want from your refurbs and what you want from your builders will depend on where you kind of want to find them and what your approach will be. So there's a few different types of way you can do buildings. You can have a turnkey build. So if you're doing refurbishments and property refurbishments, you can have a turnkey build where you can literally just give the keys to one builder and it does everything from you from start to end, like manages the whole thing for you, all the different trades, or he's got all the trades in house. He gets a cleaner in and he gives you back your property in a rentable condition, ready to be rented out in the market. The thing with the turnkey solution, it comes at a premium cost. So you then have to work out, for me it's like you've got to work out, that option for me is the winner all day long, but some deals cannot absorb that premium cost you have to pay this turnkey service. It comes at a cost. So they do everything from the quotes, detailed job spec, schedule of works. They do everything really good for you, but that comes, as I said, at a cost. Or you can have kind of like the one-man band guys, or you can manage multiple trades, but that comes at a cost to you. It don't come at a financial cost. It comes at a time cost. But you have to weigh up on the deals individually, because some deals come, like as a team, we've got a lettings agent, and we do I prefer to give it as a turnkey all day long, but some deals just can't absorb that, and especially when we also got a portfolio building service. So when we're buying deals for investors, if there's not enough margin in there by giving the keys over to just a one-stop shop, then it's a non-starter deal for us. So then we have to take that in-house, and it's a bit we're not a fan of doing it. It's not our favourite thing to do, but we have to do that sometimes and manage the individual trades. So first of all, if you figure out what sort of builder you want, or what you want to do and what you want to get from it. So again, it's probably working out where you are in your journey with experience, with available time, because even if you are capable of doing it, you've got to look at your availability of time to see. Just because you're capable don't mean you've got the time. And again, I'll go over this again. This is the repetition is the mother of all learning. I say this all the time. There is 4 major ingredients that gets deals and everything going forward. So when you're doing your buy, refurbish, remortgage, and this is relevant to this, there's 4 major things that move any business forward, really, not just this. And that's knowledge, network, money, and right in the middle, and I'll do this in a different colour, what glues all these together is time. And the thing is, often, I'm going to turn this around. I'm live across 2 places at the moment. I've got a development going on at the moment, auction purchase. I've got 5 deals in legals, and we're in Holland for a month, and all this is getting done remotely. So it can be done. There is a trade-off for that. There is some pros and cons to that, but without doubt, 100%, it can all be done. Anything you do in person can be done remotely. And even if you're in that location, as I said, you still want to be able to have the ability to do things remotely. You don't want to be driving around using up time, because time, as I said, going back to this here, is knowledge, network, money, and time. And that's the ingredients it takes to build any business. And often, people think money is the most important one, which it is not. The most important one is time, because if you've got time, you can build a network, you can build knowledge, and then that will attract money all day long. I'm doing the final stages of confirming some money raising towards one of my projects, and it shows you, because I've got the knowledge and the network, that attracts the money. So money is definitely the least important one of it, although they're all important. You need them all. Often if you find somebody with money, network, and knowledge, they often haven't got time. So then you can leverage that and get their time for it. But going back to this with finding builders and understanding what sort of build you want, the reason I talked about that is because the timing element of that is because if you've got lots of time on your hands, you might manage individual trades, but remember, you've got to put a value on your time managing all the individual trades. So it does come at a cost to do that. So always think about like the time cost and the opportunity cost of your time as well. What could you have been potentially doing other than that? So for me, sometimes it's like in other parts of my business, I could potentially be earning money differently. I could potentially be earning money elsewhere, which allows me to pay the turnkey like version, and again, have less stress. You've got to look at what your experience levels are at. But let's get into the different places to find builders remotely. As I said, for find builders remotely in a remote location. But one thing I want to manage your expectation. Learning how to find builders is really important. It's a really important part of your property journey in building a property business. Because as I said, some builders turn bad. Some builders, their price goes up. Or some builders, what happens to me is a builder will start off small and he meets my price bracket. Like he's a one-man band. He's usually got a little labourer with him. He drives a van. He's got his labourer with him, a young lad, and he's on site himself. He subcontracts the sparks, the plumbers, and the bits he can't do, and he does the rest of it himself. And he comes in at the price right. His reliability is good. But then as he scales up, I try to scale up and give him more work, what happens is he tries to run multiple jobs. Now he's not on site running a job, he's trying to run multiple teams, and now he's got to put a different hat on. He's not only like, when you look at this, and the entrepreneur, the E-myth is really powerful for this. Like, you look at this, when he's a man with a van, it's him on his own. He's a solopreneur and just a one-man labourer with him. But as a result, where he's on site, as a result, that's what pushes the jobs forward. But when you jump up and go into business and like hiring people, managing people, it's then a multiple thing. So then you've got like your owners up here and your CEO, let's call this, and this is from the E-myth. Then you've got your line of management up here. Then underneath that, there's different, like, so you have to have your accounts manager, you have to have your marketing manager, you have to have your site manager if you're a builder. Then underneath, you have all your employees doing all these different things underneath it. And this is where like a builder goes wrong. So you've got your site manager under here. This is where you've got your bricklayer, you've got your plumber, you've got your builder. So this builder who's doing all this all in hand himself, all of a sudden graduates to being all of these as well, and don't understand how to be all of these, because you've got to then understand how to hire people, how to train them, how to manage them, how to do key performance indicators to make sure they're doing the job correctly. And it cringes me. I do this with builders all the time, especially smaller scale guys like this, as the man with the van. They'll go, okay, do you know what? I've got a couple of lads who can start with me on Monday. They're a couple of lads from the pub, and the reason I can start on Monday is there's 2 reasons they'll be able to start on Monday. Is that number 1 is because they're good at their job but they're super unreliable, or number 2, they're not good at their job. Because anybody that's reliable and good at their job is in work, you know. So anybody who's got hungry and reliable, they've got work, they're hungry, they're out there, especially in the building trade at the moment. The building trade, like the property market, is on fire. So as I said, learning this methodology is going to be so important, because when you get this smaller guy, this man with the van sort of type of guy, and he graduates into there's always a painful point, but then that painful point always results in money going up. He's got to hire admin staff, accountants, and and it's rightly so. He's running a completely different operation of a business than he did when he was a man with a van. So sometimes they outgrow you, you know, and you have to then find that you're a new man with a van to get at that price point. Well, I do anyway. But there's certain jobs. At the moment, I'm doing this bigger development, and I'm looking just for a turnkey solution, you know. So I'm looking for just somebody I give the keys to and do it from end to end pretty much. I might have a little involvement with picking like kitchens. I get really, really good discounted kitchens, but and some supplies. But that said, I want a much more of a turnkey service on this one. It's a bigger project than I'm skilled to manage. So, and I've got the time to manage also, because project managing can be very time intensive. So it's really important to know what sort of one you want. But again, no matter what sort of one you want, there is ways to find them, but having your end in mind is very, very important. The types you're going to find off of using these methodologies. But I'll let you into a little secret, and it's not really a secret. There was a magical thing. This is what really surprised me. At the moment, so many people still buy into this, only invest where you live, because you know your area better than anybody else. And if anybody's seen my story of, I was born in London. I grew up, but I grew up in a little village called Averley, and it wasn't an investing location. I invested within an hour and bought right in the middle of a red light district where there was all heroin addicts and crack addicts and a drug rehabilitation centre 4 doors up from where my first buy to let was, because I didn't know the area. I didn't know it any better than my remote location in Stockton-on-Tees. And today there's this magical thing out there. It's called the internet. And Google, our good old friend Google. So we would start, everything we do starts online. So whether you are local or not, you don't want to be physically going out there and trying to go around and drive around and networking and doing all this, because your biggest asset is your time. As I said, this is why when you get people with all these other commodities, time in the middle is their most precious one for them, because it's running out for all of us. You can earn money back, you can get knowledge again, you can build network, but you can't get time back. You can never get time back. So time is the most expensive commodity you'll ever spend. I love it in 50 Cent's book. It's one of my favourite lines in his book. He said, I bought one of the most opulent mansions in America. He bought Tyson's house that was 70 grand a month just to manage, like with aircon, like maintenance and staff. He said he bought enough cars to fill up garages. He's bought enough gold chains and watches. He said, but the most expensive thing he's ever spent is his time. So time is your biggest asset. He said, anybody's not following me on TikTok at the moment, give us a follow or go onto Remote Property Investing Community, jump across to there. This will be recorded in there, so you can get this whiteboard round the right way, because it's facing us at the moment on TikTok. But also I'll do a screen picture of that at the end, and I'll put that in the chats. But also, as I said, look out for my live training next Thursday, bit.ly/invest remote. I'm doing a live training next Thursday, deep dive online. You have to register for it, where we cover all these methods and to invest remotely. But let's get back to this. So online is your key to it, and it's really, really surprising me when so many people say you can only do this locally. And as I said, like, I didn't know within an hour any better than I knew that the strategic advantage I had from investing locally was in a village, and a village you just couldn't invest in. So as soon as I went to any other town, I had to research it, and all that research can be done online. And again, finding builders can be done online. Even if I was in my own town to invest in, I would do that online. So what different places are you going to use to do this online? You're going to use there's different platforms and portals out there at the moment. Different platforms and portals that you can just go on and just find builders that all they're all accumulated in one space. You've got social media. What a powerful tool it is for any single business. You know, if you're not on social media and you're in business, you're definitely leaving a lot on the table. So it's really, really important for you to get onto social media and make sure you get yourself out there, be known. It's not who knows you, it's not who you know, it's not always just your network, it's who knows you know as well. So if people know, the reason I can raise money, and I've raised money for my latest project, is because people know what I'm up to, because I document my journey and I give out value on things like these videos now, and I share what I'm doing and what I'm up to, and that pre-qualifies you for people to work with you. Both as for investors, both with people who wants to work in my coaching programs. So yeah, it's really important to get yourself out there. But social media is a really important tool, and I'll explain a little bit more around this in a minute. And you've got to think about your normal building suppliers. Again, they're all online. They're all online at the moment. So everybody pretty much is online today. So you start with searching online. If you just went around, so if you went around to all your different building suppliers, how long will it take you? Go online and find out who they all are in the area, in your remote area. Find where the suppliers are, who they are, get their phone numbers, you know. And there's just so many there's everything you can do in person can be done remotely, and a lot of things is better to be done remotely even if you are in that location. But let's drill down a little bit on these 3 different methodologies. Just another quick reminder, if you're enjoying this, please give this a like, smash the subscribe button. It really helps the algorithms with this, push it out there and give me an understanding knowing that you are liking this, and I'll make more content like this. So online portals, what do these look like? These are places like Check a Trade. So I didn't realise this. Paul Tink, as I said, was on our Clubhouse. Join us next Friday in Clubhouse. We'll go deeper dive. It's a Q&A. You can jump up, ask questions. We've done part 1, where to find the builders. Part 2 is going to be on Clubhouse next week, where we discuss how to qualify them once you've got them. Because as I said, not all builders are made equal. But as I said again, I'm going to really repeat this. Learning this method is so important. Even if you've got a good builder, you don't know how long he's going to last. He could get ill. He could. We had a really good plumber once. He got cancer, you know. So you need these methodologies to be constantly find them. And as you scale up, you need more builders and more like network as well. So you exhaust the ones you've got up quite often. But yeah, Check a Trade is probably the high. It's not probably. It is the highest. You've got the most qualified builders on this, so they come around and they check you out. That's why it's called Check a Trade, because they check the trade person out to make sure they're qualified to go on their platform. So it's the hardest one to get onto. So you're going to dequalify. As I said, anything you've got a human being involved with, whether that's a solicitor, accountant, a lawyer, a boyfriend or a girlfriend, you're going to get a good and bad version of. That's why you want to qualify, disqualify everybody when you're building out your network up here. So Check a Trade already qualified, disqualified. The more hurdles there is for people to jump through, the more it dequalifies, like deselects different people out from what they're doing. And what you've got to think about is, I believe that most human beings do not intentionally go out to rip people off. Most human beings that rip people off just haven't got the skill set to deliver what they're saying, like what they intend to deliver. And the thing with builders is, unless you want to be a gas engineer or something like that, to be a builder, literally just get some indemnity insurance, get a van, go on Wix and get a website thrown together, get yourself on some rated people on some of these platforms, and that's it. Get your indemnity insurance, buy some tools, and that's it. That's your qualification. So because the barrier is so low, you get some people that are not qualified to do it. But most people don't realise when they're not qualified to do something. And the question I say to ask people is, think about this. How many people do you know are bad drivers, yet how many people admit they're bad drivers? So even the people that are not qualified can't admit they are. And some people are really nice, some people are really genuine. When you speak to them, you think, oh, you're a nice guy. And I had loads of nice guy builders that mess up, but just because they're a nice guy don't mean they're going to be able to deliver what you need them to deliver. So but Check a Trade already takes them through a pre-qualifying process for you. But Check a Trade, you've got rated people. My Builder, there's lots of these different ones out there, and again, you can go on there, you can read reviews. Don't always trust the reviews, but you can go on there, read reviews, you can post jobs on some of these, and you can then fish through. But again, one guy the other day said, oh, I went on Check a Trade, a guy turned up, he was this and that, and he was no good for us. But listen, you can't expect to, like, how many of you are in a relationship that are the same relationship from school? It's the odd exception of the rule that you get a childhood sweetheart. But for most people, if you marry the first person you ever kiss, that's probably going to end up in a disaster. And similar again with builders, you've got to try these out. You've got to test them out. And this is why your network is your net worth, is linked to your net worth, because it takes a while to trial and error people out. And the people that get a good network and the net worth are the ones that will brush itself down and don't go, oh, builders will rip you off. They can say, okay, that builder wasn't right for me. They look for the next one, and let's keep on going and going until you find that right network of people. And that's what it is, it's that consistency. Just because one person turns up from one of these platforms no good, don't mean they are no good. Also, you've got to remember, some people are busy. Your ideal person could be busy the day you posted your job, or the day you're trying to phone them up. You phone again in 3 months' time or a month's time, they might not be so busy, and you get that in with them at that right time. And it's getting that in at that right time. So yeah, your online portals are such a powerful platform for doing this. Social media. So social media, you got to think about like Facebook groups. And this will be like property ones. You want to think about like community ones. And also, like community ones, I mean by the local ones in the area. You get like little local Facebook groups for that little area or them towns and things like that. Or even like the 3-4 pages, you know, when people just give away stuff. You can find like handyman and builder, not so much bigger builder, turnkey builders, but more handyman style builders on these platforms. And this is such a powerful platform. But again, social media, building out your presence. So builders want to work with reliable investors also. So investors come across as and this is a really building out your own profile. So building out your own online presence. Sorry guys, I'm a little dyslexic, so if I stop and pause for a second, it means I am trying to work out how to spell something in my head, and if there's any spelling mistakes, full apologies, because yeah, this is not designed for a grammatical lesson, even if I can say that. This is just designed to just give you a bit of a visual to help you learn, so apologies for any spelling mistakes, I am dyslexic. But building out your profile will help you get builders. And how does this do this? Because as I said, people do business with people they know, like and trust. Builders the same will have their favoured investors they work with. Builders will have people they think, oh, I'm going to squeeze them into jobs, or I'm going to take this job before this person's job. The more you can build a rapport and rapport and friendship with, not friends necessarily friendship, but yeah, friends. If you can be friends with them as well, but the more you can build rapport with builders, the better the work that they're going to do for you. People want to work better for people they like, you know, so your online profile will help qualify you to them. Because as I said, builders are wary of some investors. They think, oh, they're going to pay me bad, are they going to be messers, are they going to always like try and squeeze me down, or can they give me consistent work? So in their head, builders have got to always trade off. They know investors are going to want a cheaper price than retail people, but they're in their head, they'll think, look, it's consistent work, so I've not got to keep on advertising for it. And that's one of my pitches to builders. Look, we can give you consistent work. So your stuff that you get from Mary or Bill, that's one boiler in our own home that she might come back in 15 years time to do, we can give you 5, 10, 20 boilers a year. We can give you multiple refurbs a year, so you can get your bunch from them but have a consistent income. So when there are businesses, this is quite appealing to some of the businesses, because they're like, okay, that's a consistent income, bread and butter stuff, and we can earn the bigger margins on just the public stuff there. But again, they've got to have a justification in their head to charge you less money. So the more credible you are, the more they think you can deliver a lot of work with them, the more they think they like you, the more you're going to win them over for that. And they can see your online profile. This is an exact example. From my online profile, I met a guy at my remote location. I asked him then for a recommendation, because this is a really powerful one as well. Recommendations from all these from these is powerful. Anything. Let's put this up the top. Saying that. I'm not sure how to spell that, but it's got to be something along them lines. Recommendations feed into all of these ones below, by the way, because basically, once you've got a builder, ask him, do you know any plumbers? Do you know anybody else? Everybody on Facebook groups, you're asking for recommendations really on Facebook, a lot of them, or you're just trying to find people's profiles that are builders. But you go in these Facebook groups, does anybody know a builder? Does anybody recommend a builder? But also, once you've got your profile, that builder, especially if you get them online or you can drag them onto your profile, will check out your profile. I got a recommendation from a guy I met in a property Facebook group. He's from my remote location. I'm really good friends with him now. We've networked and we're good friends. Trust the work. I know what sort of work he does. He recommended me a plasterer. That plasterer turned up my job, done the job. I've got people in the area to snag this, so I'm not going to go into the depth once you've got the builder. It's beyond the level of this training. But and again, as I said, I've got free training this Thursday. bit.ly/invest remote. If somebody could put that in the comments for us, please, that'd be great. I will go into more of the steps on that training this Thursday. It's with spreadsheets. It gives you examples of stuff that you can plug into your business as well, and how you can manage these refurbs. Like multiple parts. I'm not going to go too depth in that now. I'll talk more about that at the end and give you a bit more details on that for anybody who wants at the end. But building your profile, this guy I met on the line built through my profile built. He recommended a plasterer. Plaster turned up. I've got somebody on the ground that snagged the job. They went, yeah, that's okay, the work's good. I phoned up this guy, so I wanted to build a relationship with him. And again, that was remotely. I was miles away from this. My remote location is 250 miles away. I phoned him up and said to him, okay, because I want to prove to him we are good payers, look, send an invoice over to accounts at Funny enough, I was in Holland. I remember the conversation. I was actually in Holland at that time at my in-laws then. So I was more than 250 miles away because I was in a different country managing this refurb. And the I spoke to the guy, I said, send it to account, because he just knew me as Harvey, so I said to him, send it to accounts at Grove Properties, blah, 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 give him an email address, and he went, oh, you're Harvey Grove Properties, oh, I've been following you online, and his whole attitude massively changed, and he started saying, we can do this, we can cover that, I've got other trades, I've got this. So he then, obviously, because I'd documented my journey, and I'd built some credibility with him, and trustability, and obviously he felt like he knew me a bit more. The amount of people get that meet me or speak to me the first time say, I feel like I know you, or not trust you, don't say them exact word, but I feel like I know you because I've seen so much of your content. That had that effect with the builder. And then he wanted to work with me even more. So it's really, really powerful. Building your online profile, it is just so powerful. Like, yeah, it's something that people underestimate. A lot of people think about building their online profile to get investment, and it is powerful for that, yes, but it builds out your network as well so quickly, more quicker than you could ever think of in any other way. But now, my makeshift stand is looking like it wants to fall over. What's going on with this? Right, let's hope this survives. So the next one is suppliers. So people like Howdens, find these online. Screwfix. All these have got a list of their favourite builders that come in all the time, all these different suppliers, Magnet. So you just find them online, then phone them up. Again, do this remotely. Even if you're in your own location, you'd want to do it this way rather than spending all that time. And then just get their numbers, find out who they are, get recommendations, and then phone them up and speak to them. There is a pre-qualifying stage after this, as I said. You can't just, once you've found these here, you've got to then qualify or disqualify to make sure they're the right fit for you. As I said, some of them have a great charisma, be really nice guys, genuine guys as well, but genuinely can't deliver what they think they can deliver. So you've got to go through a process. We're doing a clubhouse on it's next Friday. Paul Tinker's going to be on there. He's one of my coaches for refurbishment management. So Paul Tinker's going to be on there. With that, you can jump up on Clubhouse and ask some questions. I see there's some questions on TikTok here. I'll turn around to Facebook as well to see if there's any questions on there. But this is basically the best ways to find builders, whether you're in your own location or whether you're doing it remotely. Remember, if you don't evolve your ideas, you never live on your own terms. So evolve your ideas, live on your own terms, and have a fantastic day, everybody.